no one will want to listen to this, I wouldn't think.
Exactly. Should we do it?
Yeah.
No, okay.
I mean, I didn't do any notes.
No.
No notes.
Same. Some things never change.
Yeah, there's no point.
If my notes slip, then Dolan creeps into this chair, doesn't he?
I just had a little thing in my head I was going to say, but I was going to do a little partridge.
Mum would be like, why have you bought this? When I was young, I'd be like, Mum, I like Bovril, let me live. My mum was like, oh, that's a lovely voice. Who is that talking? And my dad was like, oh, it's Chris Dolan. And she took one look at the screen and went, I do not like his hair.
What?
Hello, welcome to the Villa View podcast with myself, Dan Bardell, and Thomas Julian on my right. As you can tell by my voice, absolutely thrilled to be in the booth talking about a glum night for Villa, but it is what it is, and we'll try and make the best of it, as we always do. But I've got to say, I feel particularly low.
I mean, I said to you just before going live, essentially, shall we just tell everybody to take an hour for themselves or for their family, go for a walk, clear your head, don't think about Villa for an hour, because
I'm glad I've had to hear that anecdote twice.
This isn't a good sell for the podcast, but it's dire to talk about and think about at the moment.
I'm imagining there's not too many positives I'm going to be able to draw from last night. I mean, I've done no prep whatsoever. Obviously, you've done some prep, but
ample.
I can't even muster the strength to talk about Villa, to be honest.
The one reason for you to stay and listen to this hour-long podcast, or however long it's going to be, hopefully not an hour, is that we're going to vent for a little bit, I suppose.
Probably.
So maybe it'll be cathartic for some people, but generally it's a dire showing. 3-3 against Sheffield United. We'll talk about that. We're lucky to get a point from that. And then last night's game against Brentford, Neil Maupay taking all the points in the 91st minute. Very frustrating week to be a Villa fan, and the frustration rolls on.
I've got to say, this is the worst I felt coming to do a podcast probably since the playoff final.
Yeah.
That
was.
We had some pretty grim times actually before Dean Smith came in, but I still don't remember feeling this bad. Yeah, which is quite sad.
Even after the Sheffield United game last time round when we went away, it didn't feel as bad, because I think
it's the start of the season, isn't it? So it's a bit different, because you still think there's plenty of time left.
Wasn't Bruce sacked almost immediately after that, because it was international break?
Still a few games. We still had a few games. I thought it was the Preston 3-3. You got the sack after, wasn't it?
Didn't it? We then went into the international break after Sheffield United, though. So maybe there was I guess
new players were coming.
Exactly.
Weren't they? Tammy Abraham was coming,
and you can look ahead to January, and you're thinking about what's going to happen after Bruce. But at this stage, we're in the beginnings of a new regime, and yet it just doesn't have that new girlfriend hype that you kind of hoped it would.
No, I mean, I said it in the preview, but now if you offered me next season can start tomorrow, I'd take it. I feel like I'm mentally done with this season, and it's the 14th of February. I should know what day it was.
Yeah,
happy Valentine's Day to you, Tom.
Thank you.
what a way to spend Valentine's Day. Jeez.
Did you bring me anything?
No. You bought me that fart in the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I did not enjoy. I enjoyed that less than I enjoyed the game last night, in fact. I didn't enjoy the game very much.
Well, let's get into Sheffield United first of all. That was a frustrating watch for 81 minutes. Billy Sharp always seems to be a problem for Villa, and he was on hand again. 3 goals. They were all fairly scrappy.
Combined yardage of about 8 yards.
Yeah, and we'll get into each of them. But let's talk overall. What did you make of the atmosphere at Villa Park? Because it was kids for a quid. Was there a lot of kids there? First of all, was there the kind of what Villa wanted it to be?
I can't even remember, Tom.
Yeah,
feels like it was so long ago. I don't recall seeing loads of kids there, but I guess where I sit, it's pretty much all season ticket holders, so I wouldn't notice a difference anyway. And then, to be fair, by the 70 odd minutes in, a lot of people have gone.
Yeah, I want to talk about that in a little minute. Villa go 1-0 down. Billy Sharp, close range, gets the goal. And how does the atmosphere change? Or are we all kind of low already? I just kind of want to get into there's been a lot of talk about Villa getting on the fans getting on the players' back. Everyone on Twitter seems to be arguing with other Villa fans, just kind of saying, don't get on the fans' back Dean Smith, don't get on the players' back Dean Smith, all this kind of stuff. Do you feel that when you're at the game kind of from minute one, or is it when we go 1-0 down? How's it feel?
I think it comes when there's that first bad pass, which inevitably usually happens quite early. I think from then, some players, if they make a bad pass in the fans' eyes, they'll never recover in that game, and they'll just get. And this isn't all Villa fans, by the way. it's a minority of Villa fans, but they're very vocal. I think some people go to the football just to have a pop. I genuinely think that now. I've seen it too often over the years now. I think some people don't even enjoy going to the game. They just like going to shout at people.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that. And I can't sit here and say we were good against Sheffield United, because for 82 minutes we were horrific. Like really, really bad. As bad as I've seen us at Villa Park. To be fair, and I've seen some bad times.
Yeah.
We just didn't do anything, but then you almost can't enjoy the fact that we got back to 3-3. Well, I couldn't, because I was still so annoyed by what I'd seen before, and ultimately draws are no good to the football club at the moment. So the atmosphere is antsy, but then on the other hand, it's not great. So it's going to be a bit antsy.
Where's the problem lie for you in a microcosm of the Sheffield United game, not the global thing?
What are you talking? The problem with what? With the way we're playing, the fans?
Where does the problem lie? It's because again, this is the thing that's raging on social media. It can't just be Jack Grealish. It's not the fact that we're missing Jack Grealish, but nobody has another answer for it.
The problem is that's automatically where it started from.
Yeah.
As soon as he was out, we didn't look as good, and it's too simplistic to blame it on him and Twanzebe being out. I can only assume something has happened. I just think something must have happened behind the scenes. It must have done, because it's gone from being a really happy place, everyone's buzzing, looks like they're singing from the same hymn sheet, we're playing this pressing, exciting football, we're looking really good, to just nothingness now. There was nothing last night to get excited about. We were rank.
A few people on the comments saying that it's because Dean Smith has already told people that they're not going to be around next year.
Would he tell people now?
I wouldn't have thought so, but I guess if you haven't,
people get an inkling, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you're not negotiating a new contract, then you're pretty sure that you're out the door.
I mean, Hutton, I'm just using him as an example because he's the first player that's come to my head that's out of contract in the summer.
Yeah,
he must be thinking now, I got 4 months left on my contract. I'd like to know what I'm going to be doing next season, and he probably knows he isn't going to be with Villa, but. You like to think that, and Elphic's come out and said this basically, you like to think that people would put that to one side and still give their best. You still need to give your best because you need to get into the football club at the end of the day. But something has changed, because it's just night and day what I'm seeing at the moment from what I was seeing in October. No, it was more November, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In November, we were going to some real tough places and winning games and winning them well. And I thought, and this is the other annoying thing with Villa, they get your hopes up. You think with the real deal here, we could go and make a challenge for automatics if we keep playing like this.
We're 2-0 up at Leeds in December.
I was never convinced by
I
that,
know,
to be honest, at the time. But you can take that because Leeds are a good side, and you will lose games. But what I've seen since Leeds, I can't take, because the performances are getting worse and the results are getting worse.
Yeah, it's not even like you're playing badly but nicking a draw or nicking a win here and there.
I mean, we've nicked a few draws.
You're playing terribly and you're getting deservedly beat, or like you say, nicking a draw.
I mean, I didn't think Brentford were at their absolute best last night. I thought they were good. I thought they were comfortably better than us, but I wasn't as impressed with them as I have been in previous years. But Billy the Bee, the guy, the Brentford fan cams guy equivalent, basically said they're just trying to be a bit more organised now because they were leaking too many goals, so they're trying to get a balance, which I don't know what we're doing. I really don't, because we're not playing good football. We're not tight at the back.
There were some times where they ripped us apart, like some really nice, well-worked play. Dean Smith almost in his post-match on the Facebook Live thing, he kind of took credit for Brentford. It was something like, it's very hard to beat Brentford. Nobody outplays Brentford, as if he masterminded that. Which, I mean,
he did. The Brentford fans very complimentary about him. I mean, admittedly, they sung Dino, what's the score, as soon as they went 1-0 up.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Overall, I think they appreciate the job he did.
I think there's a time and place to take credit for it, and when you've just been beaten 1-0, then that's probably not the right time. I don't think he endeared himself to fans.
I can't imagine, after losing a game in stoppage time like that against your old team, when you're probably desperate to go there and win and prove that you've made a good decision, I can't imagine your head's in the right place to come out and do an interview immediately. I know I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
If someone, to be fair, Billy the Bee did come and poke a recorder in my face, and I did give my reaction immediately on whatever their YouTube is or Audio Boom or whatever it is. No one really cares. So I was probably talking a bit more rashly than I normally would because I was annoyed. So I imagine Dean Smith's just annoyed.
He just looks so dejected. Anyway, we'll come on to Brentford because I want to talk about Sheffield United a little bit more.
I don't really want to talk about either game.
No, it's true. The second goal for Sheffield United, I kind of feel in two camps. One, should Kalinic have just done better from the header? And 2, was Kalinic then fouled?
Yeah. And he's offside.
Yes to both?
And he's offside as well, which is the main...
At the start.
If you've made a movement towards the ball, which I think Billy Sharp did from the initial...
I think he interrupted Kalinic's
he's in the
view,
keeper. Automatically you're offside. So it shouldn't even be a debate what happened next, although at the time, obviously, when I was watching it, I didn't know he was offside.
Yeah.
And I did just think, that's another farcical goal to add to the collection.
It was farcical, wasn't it?
It just felt farcical.
Did you, have you seen it back? Yeah. So, to me, he should catch the ball. I guess he's kind of stumbling back, and he maybe doesn't know exactly where he is.
He didn't look comfortable, did he?
Yeah.
He didn't look in control of what was going on, and maybe that was something that played in the referee's mind with him not giving a free kick then, because he got it in 2 hands.
Yeah.
But because he didn't look in control, it probably in real time didn't look like he had it in 2 hands, just because he looked a bit all over the place for that whole series of play. So I don't know. It's just one of them things. It's another thing going against us, isn't it? When you're not playing well, luck suddenly goes against you as well. And in general, the officials are absolute trash.
Yeah,
they really are bad. I keep harping back to Brentford, but Smith had a go at the refs, at the officials last night, and they are crap. But you can't blame them on why we didn't win the game.
I mean, he could have given penalties at both ends. I think. I think they were both soft, to be honest. The Abraham one.
I mean, I've seen nothing back, so I'm going off what you've seen. So.
Yeah. There's one where El Ghazi brings down Morpay, or he brings out somebody anyway, and it's very soft, but it could be a penalty. And then the other end,
the keeper one, was that the one you're talking about? Because that was right in front of me.
Yeah, the Kalinic one, that's another one as well. Again,
it'd have been soft.
Yeah, it would have been soft. That's not the one I was thinking
of. Well, it looked like he made contact to me, but it would have been soft.
Yeah, again, it could have been given. You've seen him given, and you've seen him not. Other end, Abraham goes down under a fairly soft challenge, but makes a bit of a meal of it, to be honest. Again, could have been given because there is contact, but
that second half, I said to James sat next to me, no chance if that had been.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah. Well, that's it, but I
think I actually said Tammy Abraham's mum wouldn't have given that as a penalty. So I obviously didn't think it was a penalty at the time.
As a trained referee, I didn't think it was a penalty.
I mean, this is your worst nightmare, me coming in slagging off officials, giving it the big one. You don't like that?
No, I don't. I don't particularly like that.
But they are trashed on.
Well, again...
I just want to hear you say it.
Dean Smith called out the officials in his post-match. Again, kind of using it as
the Brentford game, we may as well just not talk about the Sheffield United game.
Using it as a reason for why we lost, and that's not the reason why we lost.
That. No, I
we
agree
played
with you.
terribly. That's the reason we lost.
But the officials are rubbish. They don't help.
Well, they don't help both ways then, because Brentford could easily say that they were done twice by the officials.
That's fair. But I've got to say, the games I've seen at Villa Park in the main, the referees do seem to have an agenda against Villa.
Nah,
in general,
absolute
mate. You have, honestly. I don't want to patronise you, boys. I don't mean this in a patronising way, but obviously you're not there every week.
Yeah, I knew you
across the 90 minutes watching them at Villa Park, they are awful. I've not seen a single good referee in the AFL.
But what do you classify that as? Do you say like they made a mistake that you remember, and therefore it's 1 or 2 mistakes out of
general
100?
The whole,
because then if you put it back into the Villa context, all the misplaced passes that Villa have put on week after week at the moment, which seems to be
we're rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. So. Everybody's rubbish, so you deserve what you get with these referees because you're playing so badly.
They tend to be little jumped up men, in my opinion, that kind of had a lot going on in their lives, to be honest, because they come there and they literally want it to be all about them.
This is just not right.
No, they think I'm reffing at a big ground here. There's a chance to make a name for myself. I'm going to make people remember me tonight. That's how I feel. It might not be true, but that's how I feel about it. Some of the stuff you see, Tom. Generally, a lot of teams come to Villa and try and time waste and run the clock down. They don't book the goalkeepers for taking ages over goal kicks until stoppage time, and they've been doing it for 20, 25 minutes, and then they do it with like 1 minute left when it's going to make no difference to the game. It's pussy. You've been a pussy. Book him earlier. Honestly,
I mean, you are there. You're right, but the amount of football that I watch. I think the referees do make mistakes. They're human beings.
I think they lack balls in the Championship. I've got to be honest.
Really, compared to the Premier League?
I will never. If we ever get back to the Premier League, when I'm doing this podcast, when I'm 75 years old and we're in the Premier League, I will never knock the referees.
You know, it's the same referees, right? They get promoted from the Championship into the Premier League. So at some point,
who was the last one? Tell me the last one that got promoted.
I don't know any of them. But there's a bunch of them. All of them will have come through the Championship into the Premier League.
Not since we've been in the Championship. I can't think of any that have come up from the Championship. But there's maybe one. I forget his name, but there's maybe one.
They will have come there from some point to be there. So
Well,
they end up being Premier League referees.
I'm just telling you, they are rubbish.
How long have we talked about referees
They are
for?
rubbish.
Right, let's get back. The third goal for Sheffield United at this point, 2-0 down. We get absolutely done on the wing. Hutton kind of tries to come across and intercept, but it's absolutely nowhere near the ball, and it's an easy header for Billy Sharp, I think, at the end. Does Hutton make a mistake, or is he out of position from the start?
I think
there?
stuff's happened before it even gets to Hutton.
Yeah.
I think Codger is on the wing, so I would expect to see him tracking back. I look when the goal's gone in, and he's standing like pretty much next to Tammy Abraham as if we're playing 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Mate, your man's up the line.
Yeah.
You just put the cross in. But where are you?
Yeah. It was Neil Taylor, wasn't it, a left back?
Yeah, but
he looked completely exposed, is what I was going to say.
People will automatically, and I heard this during the game, people automatically shout and they're like, "Where are you, Taylor? That's your man." No, it's not. It's Codger's man, and Codger's milling around the centre circle like he's playing up front. Like, sometimes I've got to question what people see and what they know about the game of football. Sometimes, honestly, some of the stuff you hear, some of the stuff I heard last night. Jeez, I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I mean, it's me that's brought it up. But that isn't Neil Taylor's fault. He's exposed.
Yeah.
What is he? He can't win if he comes and gets the man. There's another man running past him up the line. If he holds it, he's let the man come too far. So you can't. As a fullback, you cannot win in that situation.
Yeah.
And I saw a few of the players looking at Codger, hands up in the air. Where were you? And then shortly after, he was substituted.
Right.
So that tells me what I need to know.
At 3-0 down.
But I agree with you, Hutton maybe could have reacted quicker, but too much stuff's happened in the build-up anyway.
I think he'd already lost Billy Sharp. I don't know if he was supposed to be the one picking up Billy Sharp.
He just looked a bit surprised.
At some point, he was...
If he's the right back, should he be the one picking up the central striker?
Well, because Mings goes across, doesn't he? So I guess they all shuffle across, but Hunt's just a couple of yards...
Where was Elphick?
Too far. Well, I guess then Elphick picks up the other centre-forward. I can't remember how they played, but then everyone shuffles across. So,
I mean, I did watch this game back. I actually watched the game back when I got home, which was a terrible, just a stupid decision. Standing at my mum and dad's,
you're a glutton.
Turning into a child, and I'm back at my mum and dad's. To be honest, my mum had to come in and ask me to turn the light off at like 1 in the morning. And I was sitting there watching the Villa game on my iPad. I did feel like I was about 12 again, to be honest. Although I wasn't watching Euro trash, I was watching.
No,
I was watching the football.
That's equally as sad.
Yeah,
but. Anyway, it happens. It's a calamity of errors that you rightly point out starts with Codger. At 3-0 down, now there's a lot of fans again on social media and probably in the ground. A lot of fans leave essentially. Now, I know we're probably going to have differing opinions here, and I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. But at 3-0 down, you've played poorly. The team has played poorly. I can't actually blame people for leaving early.
I did. I think, and to be honest, it only looked like it was going to go to 4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember with the first 5 minutes of the first half, I said to my dad, I can see this getting to 2-3-0, and it did very quickly. Kudos to me. But at the end of the day, do what you want.
Yeah.
My personal preference is I've never left a game early, so I probably never will. Now it's almost become in my head, I'm never going to leave a game early.
Yeah.
I want to always be able to say that I've never left a game early. When I die on my tombstone, it'll say he never left a game early.
Dan Bardell never left a game
Never left a game early. So I just want to be... It's got to the point now where that's been done for so long. And to be fair, my dad's been going a lot longer than me. He's never left a game early. So it's just something that we do. But I can't blame people for going because I thought there's no way we're getting back to 3-3. No way. We were playing awful.
It's a thing about modern culture where you seem to get out on people seem to get out on Mount Pius on social media, and it's like, oh, why would you leave early, all this kind of stuff, and it's like, it's such revisionist history, because if you'd left early and you lose 3-0, nobody's going to blame you for leaving early, you know what I mean? So if you want to leave early, exactly like you say, leave early, that's your choice, you do what you want, and at 3-0 down, I don't think anyone can blame you for leaving early, because it's absolute crap.
I mean, I didn't see him yesterday, but I know he left early. I'm not calling him out. But Reece Lloyd, he goes to every home and every away game. He hasn't missed a game probably since 2014, 2015. So he goes every single week. He dedicates his life to go into Villa. Yeah. So he probably never ever leaves the game early. But he left that game early when we were 3-0 down. And I think, you know what? He goes every single week. He puts all the time in the world. He absolutely, him and his dad live for Villa. They love this club. No doubt in that. It's a Friday night. He's a young lad.
Yeah.
They're getting humped. He's thought, I'm probably going to meet my mates now a little bit earlier than I was going to. There's no chance Villa are going to get back in. It's only going to get worse. I'm going to leave. And I think fair play to him.
Reece is the reason that I brought this up, mainly because I saw so many people talking about leaving early. I don't really feel like I've got too much of a case because I don't go enough. But
lucky you.
I saw Reece's tweet and I was just like, yeah, that's spot on. He said himself, look, I go every week home and away to the Villa. I've had a season ticket for however long.
I bet his dad didn't leave though. His dad's a ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad's cool.
There you go. So anyway, 3-0 down, and then the comeback begins on 82 minutes. Tyrone Mings. Dean Henderson makes a right hash of it.
He's a good keeper, but he's had a nightmare for the two of the goals, definitely.
Yeah. He comes out and he's just so weak there, and Tyrone Mings just kind of beats him shoulder to shoulder, essentially. At that point, do you feel the mood changed? Dean Smith in his press conference said he felt like things changed. I don't know whether that's again.
I'm pretty sure, and I can't. Again, it feels like it was years ago now, but I don't even remember like standing up when we scored. I'm pretty sure I just was on my seat going, "Wait," thinking that means absolutely nothing. Again, I was probably thinking the fact that we've scored now has annoyed me more than it should. Second one, I suddenly thought, oh,
could be on.
Jeez. But then I was still thinking, we won't do it. This will be typical Villa now. We've got back to 3-2. The players have saved themselves a booing by getting a couple of goals back.
Yeah.
Fair play to them. Sheffield United just lost concentration, in my opinion. They completely just switched off. And then when it got to 3-2, they wet the bed.
Yeah.
Is what happened, really. Because Dean Henderson's been one of the best goalkeepers in the league this season, but he for the 2 goals, 2 things he'll probably never do again, or probably hasn't done throughout the rest of the season either. It's just, if I was Chris Wilder, and then fair play to him, because he was talking about Smith earlier, he was pretty composed in his interview afterwards. He was quite jovial. I was surprised at how jovial he was, because he should have been absolutely livid, and I'm sure he was livid in the dressing room, but then he came out a completely different character in his post-match and was okay. But we just shouldn't have been getting back into that game. No way.
Yeah, well, Andre Green, hometown hero that the fans have been singing for, gets the goal, and it's 3-3 and it's jubilant scenes. And like you say, you still can't quite go, well, this is brilliant, because it's only a point, and points aren't good enough.
I was just shocked that we'd actually done it, because I don't think I've ever seen us come back from 3 goals down before. It feels like when we go 1-0 down, we never come back. So to come back from 3 against a good side, and I will say, Sheffield United, very, very good team. Yeah. They were very good when we went there, although both times I feel we've not done ourselves justice. But they just know what they're doing. They're organised. They play a formation. They play the set tempo. Everyone, it's like they know where each other is at all times. They know where people are going to go, and they play nice football. And he's done an incredible job there, because they went close to playoffs last season.
And they should have gone top if they'd have beaten.
Yeah. So
Villa.
One thing I will say, just while we're on the subject of them, is Chris Wilder's had multiple pre-seasons with those players. He's had multiple pre-seasons to get what he wants across, and it shows. Dean Smith's had no pre-seasons. So people saying, why are these teams like Sheffield United better than us? Well, Sheffield United are better than us because they've done things a certain way. They're together. The manager's had multiple pre-seasons to get his ideas across. So as much as I'm sitting here saying we're a load of rubbish at the moment, because we are, I think that's okay, because I'm still fully 100% behind Dean Smith. I believe in him. He was the manager I wanted. I actually wanted him when Bruce got the job in the first place. So he's a manager I've always admired. He's a manager I want. I believe in him. It's not going well at the moment. It's okay to question some of the stuff I'm seeing at the moment, because it is garbage.
Yeah.
But I'm behind him, and I believe that when he has those multiple pre-seasons, even one pre-season, I think will make the world of difference. I just think that's what's needed. And the problem is that we had that spell where we were really good, and we did think it's clicked here, and we were thinking, Bruce is a joker, isn't he? Look how much better we are. But we've reverted back to what we were like under Bruce now. Yeah. It's gone back to that, and I just wish I knew why.
Yeah, that's the most frustrating.
But that gave us hope, and now we're on a bad run. If he'd come in and done rubbish straight away, and now we'd suddenly started picking up and getting those results now, you'd be thinking, right,
that makes sense.
We're capable. We're on the right track here. He's had a bit of time. He's getting his messages across. It's the fact that good run came early on, and now it's bad. It's kind of unusual, I think.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it's. I guess it's fairly usual. I don't know the numbers to have a honeymoon period where the results pick up because it's a new manager.
But it was the performances. They were so much better than what we'd been seeing, and we'd all been saying these players were underperforming because they weren't being utilised properly. Our tactics weren't good, and our tactics were spot on for games like Middlesbrough. derby. We could not play well for a whole half against Blues and still go in 2-1 because we looked lethal.
Yeah.
We looked lethal in front of goal, and that's. And to be fair to Tammy Abraham, he has been lethal in front of goal all season, but we just. Another annoying thing is, sorry, I feel a bit all over the place.
I did say that we might rant here.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You knew what you were getting in for.
Yeah. When we draw 0-0 with Reading and keep a clean sheet, we're clueless going forward. We don't ever look like we're going to score, to be fair, but we keep a clean sheet. When we're like really good going forward, we're letting 3 bloody goals.
Yeah.
Like we're just not getting it right. We just cannot get it right at the moment. It's weird.
Yeah. It's very...
And it's annoying.
Very frustrating.
It's annoying me.
Congratulations to Tammy Abraham, who becomes the first Villa striker to score 20 goals since Peter
That's
Witt.
smooth from you. I like what you did there. Yeah.
So there you go. So that's I guess the highlight of the Sheffield United game. Again, another frustrating night at Villa Park. I actually have the Chris Wilder quote here.
Treat us, Tom.
This game is historically mad. Villa only turned up for the last 8 minutes or so, and it was down to our individual errors that they got something. Henderson,
is the game historically mad?
This game is, as in the game of football.
Oh, football, not Villa v Sheffield United.
Although I will say,
2-2 last season, wasn't it?
My colleague was in Lima for some work in Peru, and the Sheffield United Villa game was on the news.
Really? Because
it was historically mad.
Because Villa came from 3 goals down.
Yeah.
For the first time since the 50s or something. It was long ago. Rob Bishop tweeted about it. It was definitely long ago.
I look at the bigger picture and the way my team dominated his team. All the best players on that pitch were wearing yellow. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, Billy Sharp, you see his face on the bench when he got to 3-3. He couldn't believe him. His post-match, he was a bit all over the place, wasn't he? That's what I'm saying about people.
Yeah.
You having to come out and speak immediately, like your head's all over the place. It must be difficult, but yeah, they've got some good players, but it's almost like they're unfancied players that have some of them are a bit journeyman-like, but they're like
a bit like a Neil Warnock team.
Yeah, but they play much better football than a Neil Warnock team.
Yeah.
Their football's incredible. I think for a championship side, I think they play really good football. I think they're one of those teams, although I thought this about Fulham a little bit, they're one of those teams that goes up and just does well, I would say, if they go up, because they've got a set way of playing, they've got a system, all the things that I feel we haven't got at the moment, but I don't know why.
But you think we will have a system?
I think we should. Dean Smith, and I said to Billy the Bee, I said, you must have been surprised.
I love that you call him Billy the Bee.
That's what he calls himself. You must have been surprised from what you've seen from a Dean Smith side there, because you know what Dean Smith sides do. You know what he wants to do and what his philosophy is, and it isn't that. And they agreed. They just couldn't believe how bad Villa were. A few Brentford fans I spoke to couldn't believe how bad we were. I mean, I've picked Brentford fans who I've not seen at work for probably months, and then today I see every single one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they couldn't believe how bad Villa were there.
Yeah.
And we were bad. And it's a horrible watch. I don't want to watch it again, and I haven't watched any of it back.
Well, let's talk about it some more, because I guess we've already drifted into quite a lot of it. But I mean, it was a bad night. Bad night personally for me from the off.
I mean, you dodged a bullet, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
You should be pleased.
Was supposed to go, but couldn't go for one reason or another. But you get there.
KG tickets let us down, didn't they? KG tickets.
Sometimes that happens. You get there. How are you feeling going into the game? I didn't watch your preview. I'm not going to lie to you. Did you?
You're turning into Dolan. You are. If you're not in it, you don't watch it.
No, that's not true. Did you think we were going to get a result?
I predicted we'd lose 3-1, mate. I had no confidence, which makes the fact that I'm so annoyed by losing weird.
Yeah.
But it's the way we lose.
Yeah.
Like if we'd had gone there and lost 3-1 and been outplayed, I'd have been like, okay, I expected that. We were outplayed. But it's 0-0 in stoppage time. Just see the game out, lads. Just see the game out. Don't do anything rash. What do? Do something rash. Boo! 1-0. Annoying.
Again.
I'm annoyed. You can probably tell. I'm really annoyed.
I didn't notice.
And talking about it now is making me more annoyed.
If you transfer that Chris Wilder quote to this game, all the best players, all the best players played in red and white. Do you think that's again the truth for the Brentford game?
I mean, Chris Wilder said all the best players played in yellow.
Yeah, I know, but I'm changing it to the Brentford colours, you see.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't think of a Villa player that I could, and I'm sure any Villa player that played last night wouldn't dare come out and say, I was good last night, I had a good game.
The only 2 players that I could highlight were Kalinic, I thought played pretty well, and
yeah, he's
Mings,
probably the only one.
I thought until Maupay's, where Maupay obviously scores this. It's a great goal. It's really nicely finished. But Elphick jumps in.
He's took it well.
Elphick jumps in and misses it straight away. And Tyrone Mings kind of swings at it and he's embarrassed by Maupay. It's a bit like what you see on Saturday afternoons when an old centre-half thinks he's getting there, but the young striker's got half a yard on him, just knocks it past him, and Tyrone Mings just swings and air kicks it. That was the only fault for me in Tyrone Mings' game. I thought he had a good game.
I mean, if you're saying the better players are Tyrone Mings and the goalkeeper, then that's a problem.
Yes.
Because it means we've not done much going forward. And I come out from the Reading game saying that Mings, Elphick and Kalinic were our best three players. Yeah. So there's a pattern building here. But they're probably going to be better because the possession, Brentford had way more possession, so they've got more of the ball. So by virtue of that, they're coming forward more. So our defenders are going to be more involved. I thought Mings did okay again. I was a bit surprised he didn't play left back and House play. Not House, it's Hawes, I've been told.
Yeah.
Hawes didn't play centre back because then that's Hawes' position. I think you're asking a lot of Courtney Hawes last night. I was surprised by that.
To go against, I mean, Canos played really well up against
It's the consistency of Mings, though. He's been at centre back, so he's trying to keep that centre back partnership together. Will be the reason why we did it.
I just think if you played Hawes up against Maupay would have run him riot last night. Maupay's a good centre forward. He scored 21 goals this season.
I agree with you, but on the other hand, the kid's playing left back. It's not his position. He ain't played much in the last 18 months. He's coming into a team that's a bit all over the place, not on good form, not got any confidence. I don't see any scenario where, after listing all those things that I've just said, he's going to have a good game against a fluid side like Brentford. I just think it's a big ask.
Totally.
I mean, he could say what Dean Smith could say. What else could I do? I suppose he could have put Hutton at left back, but then he's had problems when he's played left back this season. Elmo's not been great the last few months when he's played.
And then Smith gets slagged for going back to the Steve Bruce system of playing people out of position to make it work. So
yeah, you can't win, but I still think when I saw that, I didn't go there thinking, Courtney has a good game tonight. I just thought he's going to be in trouble tonight, and he was.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he got better as it went on. To be fair to him, he settled a bit.
And we'll never know the answer to that, will we? So
no.
It's kind of pointless. Like all of this, it's kind of pointless. But
mate, everything feels pointless at the moment, I've got to say.
I thought Ben Rama played lights out last night. I thought he looked really classy. He moved the ball so well. He just, to me, absolutely ran the show. There was one touch where he just kind of flicked it past, I think it might have been Elphick, into the path of Maupay. It was like a really nice little back heel. I just thought he looked really, really good the whole night.
I agree with you. They play some nice stuff. They're a good team. I mean, they're low in the league, though. At the end of the day, but they're below us, so it's no good being a good team if you're below us.
Well, they're doing what Villa aren't doing, aren't they? They've won their last. I think they've won the last.
They lost to Forest, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm sure. But I'm sure they've won 8 of their last 10.
Yeah, they were on a good run before. I like Brentford. I commend them. I respect what they've done. Obviously, I look out for Brentford a little bit because of where I live. It's like 5 minutes on the train for me to get to the game last night, which is perfect. But obviously, the result's not perfect. But they are what they are, and they do very well. I like the way they run. But after all that, saying they were the better team, which they were, we've had 2 very good chances.
Yeah, and I wanted to come on to those. Albert Adoma, obviously, at the end of the first half, has a I'd say a great
was
chance.
Was it very close? Because he's down the other end to me and I've not seen anything back.
It was close. It was maybe a yard past the post. Andy Hinchcliffe on the commentary says, he has to score that. He has to do all this. To me, that was a difficult chance. He had pressure in the back and he puts it past the keeper. Obviously, it's just a little bit too far. Having said that, you kind of look at the 2018 Albert Adoma, and he would have scored that. He hasn't scored at all this season, Albert Adoma. Had 15 goals last year.
Well, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
That is a problem, and the problem we've got out wide is all very inconsistent at the moment. I thought El Ghazi didn't have a great game. He did a couple of things that I liked. He got a good shot away in the first half, but his body language to me just looks devoid of all confidence.
Just before he was substituted, he almost gave away that penalty, and there was a couple of other things. I think he sprayed a ball out wide and it just went out for a throw-in or something like that, and it was ugly, and I tweeted like, El Ghazi's got to come off in a minute, and then he literally was substituted that second.
I mean, this is what I've said in previous podcasts about players being singled out. None of them are playing anywhere near the level they're capable of. Literally none of them. Even Tammy. Okay, his finishing's been unbelievable, but all-round game, he'd probably say himself, he's not getting as much of the ball as we...
He only had one touch in the first half.
So maybe that's a bit harsh on Tammy, but in general, no one's playing well.
Yeah.
El Ghazi, and admittedly Jack and Twanzebe were there at the time, El Ghazi looked brilliant against Middlesbrough away.
West Brom.
He looked brilliant against West Brom. He scored 2 goals. And I've not seen that El Ghazi since.
No, totally.
What has happened?
Totally agree with you.
What has happened?
Like, I was singing El Ghazi's praises, and up until last night, I was fully on board the El Ghazi train. But you're totally right. We haven't seen that since Borough, since West Brom. It's been very, very disappointing. I want to get back to the chances. The other chance was the gilt-edged chance that Conor Hourihane had, played in by El Mohammadi. Conor Hourihane's there, almost on his own, one-on-one. Keeper does very well.
I thought my initial reaction was he should score, but it's a decent save. It's a good save.
I thought it was a good save. You said in the car, Conor will be disappointed that he didn't put it away, but he made the keeper work. And I mean,
he should be making the keeper work from there, one-on-one.
You're right, but yeah, the goalkeeper does really well, I think, in that situation. I know people are going to slam us for being Conor Hourihane apologists.
I'd have put my life on him scoring.
Yeah.
When he was through, I thought, right, he'll score this. To be honest, I really thought he'd score.
I wonder if he had just a little bit too much time. Whereas, like, if he'd had to take it first time, he'd have got it. Just would have been more natural. Whereas he takes a touch, kind of gets out of his body, and then he has an effort. And do you know what? It's not. I'm going to say he's close to scoring. That's not good enough when the margins are so fine. But I don't know.
I mean, when was the last time he found himself through on goal like that? I can't remember any instance in a Villa shirt where he's been one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So he's probably a bit surprised. To be fair.
But yeah.
Again, this is a bit. People go on about us and Conor, and that's fine. I've made my decision of what I think, and I'm going to stick with it. McGinn, I don't think he's playing well at the moment. I keep seeing this. He's doing the job of 3 people in midfield. He's not. He's not. He'll have what I've known, and I love McGinn. I think he's brilliant. I think he's such a good player. I think he's a bit burnt out.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, it's a step. I think it's a step up playing in the Scottish Premier League for Hibernian to play for Villa in the Championship, in my opinion.
Well, lots of players drop down into the lower leagues.
But he recently, the last few games for me, he's had a good 5 minutes where he'll be on it, he'll be everywhere, and you don't really see him again for 15, 20 minutes again. Right. So he's not playing to his best, despite what people would say. He's not doing all the things he's good at. End of the game, just before they scored, he pressed high up a couple of times, and we won the ball back. And we got ourselves on the attack, like how we were a few months ago. So nobody is doing the things they should be. Literally nobody. That's why it annoys me seeing people get singled out.
If you had to pick a player of the season, and we take out Tammy Abraham because of his goals, who would you pick? McGinn's probably still the choice. Do you think? I agree with you what you're saying.
It will be McGinn. It would be McGinn.
Yeah.
I mean, Tammy is nailed on to get it at the moment. I would say just in pure terms of output, but it would probably McGinn would come second. I would have said up until December, I would have said Twanzeba. But obviously he's been injured for so long now. I mean, he must be close to being back. Surely.
Yeah, it feels very frustrating, doesn't it? And again, there's just no. There doesn't seem to be any timeline at all.
I suppose I say here about Villa fans scapegoating and stuff. I guess, like I have the other way, I've made my mind up on certain players in a positive way. They've made their minds up in a negative way. I guess it is what it is. I don't see some of the things that they see. But
I saw somebody tweet Conor hologram the other, and it was just like as if he's obviously not there or doesn't do anything or this kind of stuff. That made me laugh because that's just really, really crap.
I mean, statistics would say that he does do stuff. And I guarantee if I've not got the means of doing this, I bet if you look into the stats, him and McGinn are pretty similar.
What, in terms of area covered or tackles made?
Yeah, because people say McGinn's running around doing the work of 3 players. Again, Whelan's been okay. Having a go at Whelan last night, I don't see him as being the problem.
Played well against Sheffield United.
Changed the game against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Whelan, and again, I mean, I tweet. Everyone, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm just regurgitating things I've tweeted, basically. I do just tweet my whole life.
Yeah, you do.
In the toilet. I mean, the toilet's the new Twitter for me. People think Twitter's bad. You want to go to the toilet after the game in the whole end? Some of the stuff you hear in there is unbelievable. Glenn Whelan's literally just come on in Sheffield United and turned the game around just with a bit of composure and a bit of class. And I hear someone saying, if I ever have to watch Glenn Whelan play again for Villa, I'm going to kill myself. What are you on, mate? Like, what have you just watched? What do you why do you think it suddenly changed and we got hold of the ball? What do you think happened?
Yeah.
The mind boggles, mate. It really does. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just don't like the way some opinions are told.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. Have an opinion, but there's no need to be abusive to people. There's just no need.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Pat Singleton on Twitter, the game reminded me of Sheffield United away last year in that we didn't play well, but this year we don't have a player that would grab the game by the scruff of the neck like Snodgrass did in that situation.
I read that tweet. That's a good tweet.
Which is why I feel like we didn't win last night.
That's a good tweet. Yeah. I agree. I hope Pat Singleton isn't single, because that's not a good name for Valentine's Day if you are, is it?
I was going to make that gag.
To be honest, you saying that you were going to make that gag has made me review my sense of humour internally and think, is that a good joke or not?
Oh dear, very funny. We don't do Valentine's Day cards, but my wife's birthday is next week. I bought her a pun related to their birthday card.
The lucky girl. Does she know that? Obviously not.
Well, she probably won't watch this, so...
You thought that one of the other times when you said something and she did.
Called me out.
She did watch it.
Simon O'Regan, the way Brentford destroyed us, again, in brackets, is a result of Smith having a number of years to mould a squad of players to suit his style. The majority of our players can't do it his way. The remainder of this season will be tough to watch, and it will hurt to lose Jack in the summer. But I think we need to wait until he's had a full pre-season with his own players. Brentford play great football, but it takes time to implement, and I fully believe Smith is the right man. Thought Mings was good again, but Elphick is a constant liability.
I don't know whether Elphick's a constant liability.
There were 2 times where he jumped in and he should have known better.
It comes down to decision making again, and I think that's one of the main problems at the moment. We're not making good decisions on the ball. We're not making good decisions off the ball. Mm-hmm. Simple as that, but I agree with what Simon's saying. Nice man, Simon.
Yeah, so Villa have won twice in 12 games. Not
13 now?
No, I think...
Okay.
I think that's it.
I thought it feels like he's been 2 in 12 for a long time.
Yeah, quite possibly. Anything else you want to talk about with that Brentford game? There's a lot of questions. And I will just say while I'm thinking about it, thank you so much. There was about 1 million comments, so I haven't got everybody's question and comment in.
You've done a grand job. You've done a grand job.
But thank you for putting them in. We really appreciate it, so keep sending them in.
I don't know where I'm going with this, what I'm about to say, but me and Dolan were walking out of the ground afterwards a bit subdued. We just tried to go to the pub, but it was just, the queue just looked horrific, so we just sacked it off. And we're walking past the Brentford club shop, and we're like, a little notch. It may sound disrespectful, but we just basically were saying, Christ, look at the state of that.
Yeah, it is like a porter cabin, essentially.
And I think they've beat us 3 times. We have played them 6 times and not beat them. Like, I just feel like we're fans, players, like we're a bit spoilt at Villa, and I feel like it's taken for granted, like the facilities and stuff that we play under. But it's no good having nice facilities if you're not doing it on the pitch.
Yeah.
I know what I'm trying to say there, but I'm not sure I've explained it. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm walking past their club shop thinking, look at the state of that. But they're better than us.
Totally. I think there's a lot of fans, and I don't want to be one of these guys that I've said for a long time.
I think you're part of the problem.
You're as big a club as you are in the league you play and the football you play, right? So Villa used to be 10 years ago, in fact, were 3rd in the Premier League, playing great football, beautiful stadium, great infrastructure, everyth's good.
And we've still got the second part of what you said.
We've still got all that, and you're right, we're lucky to have it.
But it's not good.
But we can't beat Brentford on the quality of our stadium. We beat Brentford by playing good football, and Brentford are playing good football, and they deserve more, and they're obviously moving next season anyway, and that's a result of them moving up from being quite a small club. With no disrespect to Brentford, they were a small club, and now they're going to have a decent sized stadium, good facilities and all that kind of stuff, and that's a result of them playing good football consistently.
Everything we have that's good, like the stadium and the training and things like that, it's almost in some ways feels like a hindrance being in the Championship. Because you look at Brentford, a team that's assembled for not very much, and look at what they did last night, and you look at what we've spent, and to see us be that bad, it's depressing.
I don't agree with fans that say every time we play at Villa Park's a cup final for the other team. I don't agree with that.
I think teams do raise the game against us. No, I mean, Brentford were always going to raise the game last night because they want to beat Dean Smith. He's left Brentford to go to Villa.
I tell you why people raise their game against Villa, because Villa aren't very good, and they're like, well, we can get 3 points on the road here because the home team isn't very good. It's not because Villa's a former Premier League club. There's a dozen former Premier League clubs in the Championship and even in League One now. It's because Villa aren't very good, and people raise their game and go, do you know what, we're going to get some points on the road here, and that's so depressing.
Well, we are, because we're going to be spending the 4th year in the Championship.
Yeah.
We are now, not Aston Villa off, they're falling on hard times, they'll be back soon. into the Premier League where they belong. It is now Aston Villa are part of the furniture in the Championship.
Yeah,
and Leeds have been there for 15 seasons or whatever it is, like, and they're only just looking like they're gonna get out of it now. Although they sometimes find a way to ruin things for themselves, Leeds.
Not right now.
But it's just Aston Villa Championship now.
Yeah.
It
Totally.
is what it is.
We're kind of, I don't know, is Norwich a fair comparison? They were down for, how long have they been down for? Fair few years now.
They went down the same season we went down, didn't they? Or did they?
No, I think the year before at least.
No, they must have gone down. They're one of the only teams we beat at Villa Park the season we went down. I can't remember. I'm usually good with stuff like this, but my head's a bit all over the place.
Well, let's look at the table.
I did have something else to say, but it's gone. It's gone.
Oh, you can bring it up in a minute. This podcast has been all over the
I'll no
show.
doubt interrupt you in about 2 minutes when I remember.
So Leeds go top again. They won 2-0, I think.
I'm not listening to you at this point. I'm trying to think what I wanted to say.
They're top on 61 points. Norwich second on 60. Then Sheffield United, West Brom, Bristol City and Middlesbrough make up the top 6. Derby County on the same points as Middlesbrough right now. They're both on 51, and then it drops right down to 46 points. That's Birmingham City. Villa down on 44. So we're 7 points off the playoffs, and I'm prepared to say that the season's done now.
I mean, I could quite happily not look at the league table again this season, and I don't think it would make a difference.
There's too many. I think we've talked about this before. There's too many good teams.
Too many things would have to happen. We'd have to go and win. Is it 11 of our last 15 or something to get anywhere near the points tally that it was last season? And even last season, it was a low tally.
Yeah.
To get 6. I nearly had what I wanted to say back in my head, but it's gone again whilst talking.
Well,
yeah.
There you go. Very disappointed. Go on, talk to me.
So there's not many seasons in the last 10 years where I think, you know what I'd love to do? Go back to last season. And I was actually thinking last night when I couldn't sleep, I enjoyed last season. Like, we were pretty good, weren't we? And
we were at times, yeah.
This is miserable. And even then we did find stuff to moan about, and rightly so, in some respects. But you know what? We won 25 games. At least we won some games. Like, this now just feels like a slog. Yeah. And it's going to be it's so reminiscent of that first season in the Championship where we're just doing nothing.
How do you think Steve Bruce feels right there now?
You won't care, mate. He's gone. I don't dispute that he did good for Villa, and I think people who are anti-Bruce will just overlook that he did do some good. But I don't like the way he carries himself at times. The stuff he's saying, like, don't talk about Villa now. You're not there. I mean, I suppose
lots of managers do that.
I suppose I still talk about him in some tweets and stuff. I suppose when he's not there, and blame him for things. But at the end of the day, I do blame him for the way the defence is.
Well, I mean, he's got more responsibility about Villa than you have. Yeah, contrary to some polls that I've seen.
I blame him for the state of the defence, and he's even now. Whenever I saw Julie Bailey was tweeting something about Bruce yesterday, and his media mates, they just pop up.
Yeah,
John Ragg. I'm not having a go at John Ragg because I obviously don't know the guy, but it does feel like he must send these tweets to Steve Bruce, and Steve Bruce tells him what to say. It feels a bit like that. As I say, I'm quite respectful that he did do a good job for us, that he did do good things for us. It was definitely time to go.
Yeah,
we regressed horribly. We were awful. He had to go. It turned toxic. But I forgot what I was going to say.
But let Bruce live, essentially. All right, let's get to a few questions. Oakley Dokley, is our squad overrated? Depends how you rate them, I suppose.
Well, I thought he'd been underrated when Smith came in and we went on that run, but now I'm looking at it and thinking sometimes the players look like they haven't met each other before, which is not good. There's something gone on, and I don't know what it is. I'd love to know.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be this bad. Despite, as I said, 100% behind Smith, and it's not as if I look at them and think those players are a load of scumbags. Like, I genuinely like the players. Yeah. I have an affinity with a lot of the players that are playing in the Aston Villa first team. I like them. I want them to do well, but what I'm seeing at the moment is bad, and I can't understand it.
Yeah, very, very frustrating. Villa mad. How many away games have you and Mr. Dolan been to that we've won?
You need to not go to one today.
Therein lies the problem. It's your fault. Just saying.
Fair.
Me
and Dolan have got atrocious track records together. When me and you have been on our own, we've won both times.
Sure.
Yeah, but when it's me, you and Dolan, I'm starting to think it's Dolan.
Yeah. We went to Sheffield United. That didn't work out for us.
That's true. That was Rollo's fault, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's obviously not me and you.
Fair enough. I like that there's a extenuating circumstance for all of these.
Anyone but me, his fault it is.
Villamad also says you take away the best player from any team and they will struggle. Bale, Messi, Ronaldo, just 3 examples. I'm sure you can think of many more. It's just as simple as that with regard to Jack Grealish. Well, we've talked about it. That is part of it, for sure.
It's not helped, for sure. I suppose I was watching Man U the other night on Tuesday, play Paris Saint-Germain, and 0-0 at half-time. Obviously, Man U lose 2 of their best players on half-time, come out the second half and get outplayed because they haven't got the outlets that they had. So it's obviously going to affect you. But it shouldn't. It can't be the sole reason, and it shouldn't affect you. And if it is, that's the sole reason. That's what's affecting us. Then that's a sorry state of affairs.
Do you think Pat Tolley's changed their mind on Jack? Because she was always quite anti-Jack Grealish.
No.
But surely she's got to come round. Pat, you've got to come round a little bit. That
I don't want to talk about it. I feel like you're going to get a hammering off for using her name.
She doesn't like that, does she?
I don't want to talk about this, Pat.
Hey, Pat, I deeply respect Pat, but I just wondered if her opinion's changed. Just a question.
You'll find out.
She'll tell me.
You'll be getting a strongly worded DM, I think. You talk about me, Tom.
Villa minimum, easy for me to say. When do we concede that this season is over for us? If we do, should we focus more on youth? Surely we're safe now and surely we're safe now. Oh no, and we can consolidate. If we do, will fans allow Smith to do so? I think the season's over. So does Dan.
Trouble is, all the youth's out on loan now.
Yeah.
So we can't utilise them for the rest of the season.
True. Audrey Lynch, I just wish the season was over. Sick of the Smith out brigade. Sick of fans, in inverted commas, expecting Smith to turn this team around into world beaters. I'll judge the man next season when he puts together his squad. Happy Valentine's Day, the Villa View.
I think most people are saying, give Smith the summer, let him get his own players in. I think most people are saying that.
Yeah.
To be fair, you'd always get the odd person pipe up with an agenda that they just think changing the manager solves everything, but it doesn't. All the teams we compliment, in the main, except for Leeds, the manager's been there a while. Farker at Norwich, they were awful last season. They started this season poorly, and people were starting to question him.
Yeah, totally.
Now look at them.
Yeah.
Okay, they lost last night, but they're riding high.
A second.
And the fans love him. So you have to give him time. You have to. It's very, very short-sighted to be calling Smith out. Very short. So I get everyone's entitled to their opinion, but to me, it's
but
wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Tom Cowley, Chico Hamilton's pants, Tim, all saying the same thing. Get rid of this season and let's go.
Put it in the bin, mate. I'd love to put it in the bin this season.
Next season. That Metal Nessie, is this still a hangover from the playoff final? I think we've been this way since the moment Tom Kenny scored. We haven't really found any form since. The players don't look hungry. It's like they've completely given up and don't care anymore. Blame rests with the players, in my opinion.
I don't think the players don't care. I never think they don't care. They cannot be performing, and some on occasion will not be putting it in. But to say they all don't care, I don't think that's what he's trying to say, by the way. But to say players don't care in general is never true.
I wouldn't be surprised if some players don't care. So some players that know they're out and just don't.
But do they know they're out? That's the thing I'm asking. Do they know they're out?
Or want to be out? I'm sure it's like any workplace. Like, I know it's a dream job, but it's still a job for people. You and I have had this conversation several times where no dream job is an actual dream. And sometimes work gets laborious and long, even if you're a professional footballer. I know that's not an excuse, but sometimes it does, and that's just the way it is. And you turn up and you go, going through the motions today. I know you don't do that. I'm
a consummate professional.
Yeah. But sometimes it happens, I think.
Yeah, I guess. But you're on display, aren't you? You're there for everyone to see, for thousands of people to see. Like, if I'm not performing in my job, thousands of people aren't seeing it.
Yeah.
I suppose people are. Forget it. I suppose people are spending money on Sky.
Yeah, it's true.
In some ways, but
don't let them down.
I don't think I have a direct impact to how Sky is performing.
Listen, everyone.
Like 100%.
Everyone's important, mate. Everyone's important. ARJ, should we change formation? It's clear that without Jack Grealish, we can't win with 4-3-3. I think if we change formation, we will play differently, forcing other teams to change the way they have played against us. Teams know how to get results against our current system. I'd go 3-5-2 up the Villa.
We can't play that formation. We haven't got the wing-backs. That formation relies on having the right type of wing-back, and we do not have it. Neil Taylor's a left back, but he ain't a left wing back.
Yeah.
I'd say Hutton's a right back, but he's not a right wing back.
El
Mohammadi, he is a right wing back. That is his position, but we don't have a left wing back.
Yeah.
Although Brentford played a creative midfielder at right wing back last night, and you'd think a Villa player might get at him and try and cause him problems defensively, but it didn't happen once. The guy was just comfortable. Bad.
David Hartshorn, we know Dean Smith is the right manager and he wants to bring in fresh legs in the summer, but still can't fathom why this crop was excellent in autumn and dire in winter.
That's the thing.
All this high intensity pressing and crisp passing have gone. Need to find a way of playing without Jack or any individual for that matter. We've been outplayed by teams rather than individuals. Playing one up front against 3-man defence doesn't work. Need 2 up top in these matches, and the midfield is overrun.
You don't necessarily need two
I don't.
2 up top, but for example, you need your fullbacks to then get wide, and you need your wingers to tuck in nearer the striker and one of your midfielders to play closer to the striker, but it's just not happening.
Yeah.
He's just not happening. Tammy is completely isolated up there at the moment. Like you say, if you said he touched the ball once in the first half,
Yeah.
that's bad.
Yeah.
That is so bad.
Stephen Deacon, do you think attendances will drop off between now and the end of the season, as not much will change other than maybe seeing Jack in a Villa shirt for the last time towards the end of the season?
I mean, it'll be a big attendance on Saturday, obviously.
Yeah.
Saying all this, feeling so bad in the podcast, I actually think we'll win on Saturday, and I've got no idea why I think
Really?
that, but I actually think we'll win on Saturday.
Oh. Maybe we should just finish there.
If we lose to West Brom, then that
optimism.
really is.
Eleanor Cox, Steve Robinson, Matt Collins, Politic 1983, all talking about a rebuilding job in the summer. How big a job do you think that is?
It'll be a complete overhaul.
Do you think?
There won't be many that... Obviously, there's a lot of out-of-contract players, which I think has come at a good time, really, in terms of having someone in for the rebuild. I think, in a way, it's probably what we need. Get some high earners off the books. I'd think maybe 4 or 5 that were in the team last night would be here next season. The rest possibly not. Obviously, you've got Tammy who won't be here because we won't be getting promoted. But there's not many that will be around. I think it'll be a completely different side next season. I've said a few times about Dean Smith's first pre-season with Brentford, and he brought in 18 new players. I think you could see similar, and obviously the integration of youth as well. It's nice to see Jacob Ramsey on the bench last night. I've not seen much of him, but I've heard good things about him, and he was in the warm-up with the players on Friday. Like he wasn't on the bench, but he came out and did the drills with the first team, and I was watching him quite closely, and he just looked a confident lad, carried himself quite well. Looked like he had a few tricks, so he'll be in and around it next season. Dean Smith's obviously getting him ready for next season. It's another difficult one for Dean Smith because chucking people in the deep end's probably not the right thing to do.
So maybe it is time to blood some of these young guys if you can. I mean, I know we've sent a few.
1 or 2 maybe, but I just think it's a difficult atmosphere at the moment. The players will be finding it difficult to play. The fans are finding it difficult to watch. I'm sure the coaching staff are finding it difficult to watch. Just no one's enjoying themselves, are they? So is that an ideal time to throw youngsters in? I don't think he is.
Well, that seems like a perfect place to finish on a high note, doesn't it?
I mean, the whole podcast has been pretty miserable, to be honest, mate.
It's a difficult one because we're in a difficult place and the football's crap and the results aren't going our way. But
I said on the way in we should have really plonked ourselves in the bad booth tonight.
Yeah. That would have just been the cherry on the cake, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's not been the most cheaper podcast, has it?
No, but hopefully you found some solace in the fact that we're all upset. It's not just you, wherever you are. So,
I'm as upset as I've ever been, I feel.
Yeah.
It's just not nice when it's the 14th of February. I don't know why I have to keep looking at the day. I know what the day is. It's not nice when it's the 14th of February and you're thinking, we ain't got much to play for here, have we? Pride. Just, for God's sake, just finish above the Blues. For God's sake.
Well, they might get points deducted, so we might be helped with that. All right, should we call it a night?
Yeah.
Want me to sign off?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, mate. Thank you very much for watching. If you're still with us at this stage, I
feel like I'm not still with us at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Give us a little like or a comment if you know how to fix this Villa team. Please comment below. We'll send all of the responses to Dean Smith, and hopefully you can sort us out. Make sure you subscribe to this using the subscribe button and with post notifications on and that kind of stuff. There will be a match preview.
No,
there won't be a match preview.
We had this conversation on the way in, Tom.
Yeah, there won't be a match preview because the podcast's out on a Friday and we go to the game on the Saturday, so it's pretty quick turnaround. But we'll be back in the booth
next week.
Point.
I'd like to do Wednesday. I mean, it's not the place for this discussion because I want to watch the Champions League on Tuesday, but we'll sort it off camera.
Could do it, yeah.
Probably best asking for a like if you're miserable. If you're miserable, give this video a like, because we'll get thousands of
true.
likes.
Yeah. The most liked video we have.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for watching. Make sure you review on iTunes if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then don't bother. And we'll be back next week. If you're going to the West Brom game, hopefully we'll be talking about something a little bit more happy next week. That's it for us. Up the Villa, and happy Valentine's Day.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.